Hello, everyone who have joined into the chat. Happy to see you all here for a Saturday podcast stream. Welcome to Inspiring Talk. Today, we're going to have a special guest, and we're going to talk about many things, especially the craziness of what's been going on for the past 2 weeks or so. And here we have Christy. Hello, Christy.
Hi.
Hey. Let's see. So first of all, let's say hi in the chat. We've got Mikey. How you doing, Mikey? Let's see. Lizzie. Nice to see you here, Lizzie, from Australia. Let's see who else. Hello, Sith Dan. And no, I'm not going to put that comment what you just said about being a chew toy. We're not doing that. Okay. Let's see who else. Not everybody. Okay, that's everybody already. All right. So, how are you doing, Christy?
I'm good. Saturday afternoon, chilling in my apartment.
Yeah.
How are you?
Doing really good too. That's a nice painting behind you. What is that?
It was a Craigslist purchase. I don't know who made it. I wish I knew. I really like it too. Yeah. Match my living room.
It does. The only thing I have here is my let me see if I can get it. Ooh, okay. It's the Friends How You Doing poster.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's what I've got. Got that free at a garage sale, which was cool.
I'm all for, yard sale art or thrift store art, Craigslist art, all good places to find art.
Yeah, totally. We actually recently just got like 100 plus records that were just, I'm offended by this, we're just outside in a box, uncovered.
Wow.
And I was in shock. Like, this was overnight. These things could have been warped. Like, these were like old vinyls, like country music and stuff like that. I was like, we're taking this.
Are they all ruined?
No, there's some with the corners are a little bit warped, but the records are great. The records are great condition. So
great. That's a good find.
Yeah, we saved them. Let's see. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, so first of all, I think I titled the stream where we're talking about Charlie Kirk. We can talk about that first. Just be organized here. So what was your reaction to that horrific event?
Oh God. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, I was only vaguely aware of who Charlie Kirk was before the shooting. I knew he was, a right-wing influencer who spent time at college campuses. Didn't seem, I mean, that seems like a thing people do. Somebody just assassinating him like that. Like I'm a political independent. I don't really get on board with any political influencers, but I don't think that violence like that is ever. I mean, even if you disagree with somebody on any issue, like, it's very scary to move into a situation where you just kill a person like that. So yeah, I was just really depressed. I mean, like, this is a horrible sign of like where society is heading, and the pole of extremism. Like, where does that end? I don't know.
Yeah, totally. It's just seeing that. I knew Charlie Kirk, his work and his influence. My mother was into him too, of his, how he was. Now, I may not have agreed with everything he ever said, but I liked him. I had respect for him. I always respect any human being who was like him. He wanted to talk to people, and he wanted to debate kindly, peacefully, and try to bring awareness that we've lost that touch in our society. And I respected him for that. And when I was on X, that was the first thing I saw. I shouldn't be still emotional over it, but I didn't expect that to be the first thing I saw on my X when I signed in. And when I heard the bullet and then the blood, I nearly fainted because I saw a man who he didn't deserve that. And I thought it was a joke at first, like everybody else thought. And no, I nearly fainted, and my mom was at the store at the time when it happened. And I was thinking, how am I going to tell her? And when I told her, she was shocked too, but not emotionally like I was, because I love life and I don't think life should be taken away from somebody.
No.
And then so I watched Megyn Kelly. I watched all these people that were close to him, and I did not know how close he was with all these people, Candace Owens, everybody. And then I watched, what's her name? Amla Ekmanobi. I loved her because she's around my age and she does, stuff like independent. I think she's an independent, I think. And she began immediately finding the sickest people that celebrated it. And I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared to see sick people celebrating the death of a human being who was a father, who was a husband, who was a family man. And so I just don't understand how society can be that way. Like how it's like you even say a word about something that somebody disagrees with you fear you're going to be shot, like out of the blue. Someone's going to try to hurt you, and that's the end. And that's just sad. I just don't understand how violence is thought to be the answer of things. I just don't understand. And I don't know if there's a cure. I don't know if you can think of anything that could cure that. I know, like, what can talking really do when you're just putting yourself out there and anything can happen?
I think, the vulnerability you're displaying and your reaction is one small thing that can help. We desperately need more compassion and humanity. And I think since the social media age took hold, empathy has gotten in far shorter supply every year. The way that this works, the way cancel culture goes back and forth, and it's really hard to find who has principles in the middle of all of that, and who actually really respects other humans as humans, as opposed to just being the enemy or something, it's disgusting. It's really terrible like that happens. Seeing people celebrate it's sickening. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I agree. It is social media that, because I wasn't really raised with social media. My mother always tried to keep me from being attached. And sometimes I feel like I'm become attached. She even makes a point of that. My mom says obsessed, but it's 50-50 for me, maybe 60-40, I don't know. Because I rely on it heavily on promotion and connecting with people and trying to work things out that way. And I see it mostly with that viewpoint. Even if I talk just utter crap to somebody, it's just, trying to make a connection, I guess. But then when I see people who use the internet just to put attention on themselves or feel like they have to uh, what's another word for it? They feel they need to put their word out. I have nothing against putting your word out in freedom of speech, but if it incites violence, if it incites things that are very
Celebrates
concerning,
violence. Celebrates violence is pretty bad. Yeah.
celebrating, yes. And, it's sad that they don't think they're the ones that make the gun problem. They always say, "Oh, because we have guns in society." It's not that. It's the fact that there are people out there that incite and celebrate violence, so that makes the gun issue. That celebrates school shootings. That celebrates, all these things that we hear in the news. And all I hear of these, I don't mean to say just liberals. I hate to be political and judgmental, because there's not many. They're probably not all liberals believe in it, but that they think get gun control will help. But I'm thinking, if you go stricter with your gun control, how are you going to defend yourself if you have all these loopholes you have to go into to defend yourself? It just seems like it's hypocrisy to me. I don't know. I mean, hypocrisy is huge. I don't understand.
Yeah. And I think that we see issues where, it's easy to think that what's on social media is representative of the real world, and to get caught up in it as if that's exactly how things are and how things line up. And everybody who, is on the left side of the spectrum believes X, and everybody on, the right believes Y. And in reality, people are far more complex. And you have this problem where people will just draw artificial lines based on what they've seen on social media, assuming everyone who doesn't agree with them on whatever point, whatever particular thing, is just evil. They're all bad. And so they're not even human anymore. And that's the belief that I think people get from being overly exposed to social media and not recognizing that real humans are far more complex.
Yeah. What was I going to say? It was something to do. Oh, that's what it was. I think I was watching a Michael Knowles video, and I don't always agree with him, but I agree with most. I actually learn much from him in terms of how you open up and how you think and how you talk, really. And I marvel Michael Knowles for that. He's a very sophisticated person, and I respect him for that. But I was watching a video, and I think it was about, I can't remember what it was about. It was about the shooter. It was about the shooter of Charlie Kirk. And I was reading the comment section of below his video, and I hear these stories how one woman shared a video of Charlie Kirk to her son, who's 30 something years old. And he got all offended over it, saying she was evil, saying that she supported a man who believed gays should be killed or something like that. Stuff like that were just sick, that weren't true. And it was like he was like a full-blown liberal, brainwashed. And she was in shock. Like, this son that she raised, has now blocked her out of his life. And if she tries to visit him at his own apartment, he's going to call the cops on her because he feels threatened by her. She thinks that he's in danger. And then I hear another story about a daughter who's probably 30, 40 something years old. Her parents are liberal, but she's not. And ever since the news came out that there was the assumption that the shooter was a Republican, I don't know, I never heard of that, but I guess it must have came out and sprung somewhere. The family doesn't want anything to do with her. They just disowned her. They didn't feel safe with her because she supports guns rights. And I was just like, this is how bad political divide is. I just don't understand. The fact you would disown your own family that you've known all your life or raised doesn't make sense to me. I guess I don't see the logic in that, or the maturity in that you can't handle differences.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my family is representative of a spectrum of a lot of things. Some members of my family are extremely conservative. Some members of my family are extremely liberal. My brother's gay. He's married. They have a son. I have family members who are in the military. It's all over the place. But if there's one thing that binds us all together is the fact that we love each other, and we may argue at Thanksgiving if that happens, but we know the difference between having a heated political discussion and hating someone.
Yeah.
I feel blessed that I have had that experience growing up, because there's a hierarchy to these things, and obviously human life is, and treating other people with basic respect, certainly not dehumanizing them, is the top. Everything else flows from there.
Yeah. You can only, I just don't know if there's any hope. I know a lot of people, some liberals are turning against their own, political people, their own kind, I guess we should say. I don't know how to call it. But I just don't know if there can be any hope in terms of regaining that sense of humanity. Like, I don't know what happened to cause all of it to happen in the first place.
Yeah. Well, people see mean comments online. People can make mean comments online. It's very easy. Control either side. You can be a jerk online, no consequences.
Yeah.
You see that, oh, so-and-so's being a jerk, and then they assume everyone who believes the same things is the same kind of jerk, and it distorts the entire picture.
Yeah. Especially if they're anonymous, they can easily get away with that.
Everyone, and that's, yeah, like, I remember, I've been attacked on the internet. That happens. I've been, it was certainly not the same kind of thing. I was just the butt of a lot of jokes, and, people just, shitting on me just because. I won't say I lost friends over that, because my real friends are my friends. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But there were people who were acquaintances that, like, certainly, I don't talk to anymore. And I feel glad that I went through that experience and learned who they really are.
Yeah, totally. Especially those if they celebrate the death of another person.
Yeah,
what the heck? Like, after all these years I've known you and you're celebrating that? Like, what? Yeah. Cut them out. So yep. I totally agree.
Make it an easy choice. Like,
Yeah.
Life is too short to let that kind of negativity in it.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else going in the chat before the next question? Let's see. Oh, welcome. Okay, how did I lost that? Oh, there we go. Hello, PvP. When Charlie died, the right responded with memorials and candlelit vigils. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because, it's humanity. See a difference, yeah. See a difference. I was kind of really shocked, and I don't know why he was even popular anyway. Destiny. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Oh, I have, yeah. I don't really know where he is politically.
Oh, very liberal.
Okay. He sounded like he was all over the place when I had heard about him, but...
Yeah, as much as Charlie Kirk. But I never understood why. I don't mean to be mean. If anybody who is a fan of Destiny, please don't use this against me. But I was never a fan of Destiny. I thought always Destiny talked fast to seem like he was smart and seemed like he was intellectual when he really wasn't to me. I never agreed with anything he ever said. He was one of them that celebrated. He didn't celebrate it directly to Charlie Kirk. But what he said was this, and he got banned for Twitch for this, actually, that all conservatives should fear that they will die.
Yeah, it's probably not a great, no. That's sort of an incitement.
exactly. So he got banned for Twitch for that. And so I was like, I don't understand why he's even still relevant, because he's known for pedophilia, because he would get with underage girls. And he actually abandoned his own son when the son was 14. So that son's against him now. So it's just like, I don't understand why he's so popular when he's not a good father. He's not a good role model for our masculinity. And getting with sending or making revenge porn or
Mm-hmm.
sending nudes of other women and himself with girls who are not even 18 yet, or like 16 to 17, and doesn't think that's anything wrong. I guess
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that. I don't see why somebody like that should be popular as he is. I hope he goes down, really. I don't mean to be mean. Somebody like that is toxic to the society, and they shouldn't be around. um how do I put it politically? Let's see.
Hmm. It's fascinating. I mean, I know a little bit about Destiny, and I've certainly heard things, um, but it's a whole like online society and world that like I'm like 10 years too old for, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's just interesting to hear about it and hear how this develops and
Hmm.
your perspective, because it really does feel like we're more in bubbles, more so than ever. Like, you know, in our little special little worlds. And
Yeah.
I think it's better for us to be more broadly exposed to other people's experiences.
Yeah. It is shocking because, when I was young, I never saw negativity like that. I was never
Mhm.
exposed to it because my mom was very protective. She didn't want me to develop these perversions or or that toxic trait that social media has. And now that I'm older. I started at 20. I started getting into it. I started with the Twin Peaks fandom, and I
Yeah,
started
okay.
developing there.
That's smart.
And yeah, and so I actually made one of the best groups there on Facebook with no toxicity. It's all
That's great.
positive,
Yeah.
and that's how I started. Because I actually started that group because I was exposed to toxicity, and
Mm.
I was mistreated in a fandom, a group for it, and it was like that negativity, like, oh, you can't do this or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna freaking show you. And it's one of the best groups out there to join. And so it's like, it made me think I can do this, and I can be positive. I can use the negative energy that I receive and just form it into something artistically, or helping other people, which I love to do. And so then I started getting more into this online presence. And so I got into a red pill circle, even though
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't agree with most, the hardcore stuff, but they had more sense. And so I impressed these men with my independent thinking. Like, it was moralistic, it was positive. It wasn't like saying women are terrible. I was more like, there is hope, I think, for women who are actually good women out there. I think that they're exposed to certain women that do mess with them because they have the certain, kinks or something like that, or
Mhm.
specific desires. And I think that's what clouds them. So I was preaching that a little bit, and I made some good progress with that. And then, of course, I had the hate. And then I started debating on texting. I text my debates, and I was pretty good at what I did. Then it took a toll on me. After a year and a half, I was done. I retired, and now after the Charlie Kirk death, I'm picking it back up now. Instead,
Mhm.
I'm actually opening the panels now. Like, I'm actually going to talk politically, and I don't know if YouTube will take me down. I don't freaking care. It's freedom of speech. But it was like seeing, people talk, like the people that I looked up to and was influenced by, and they're talking about these bad people. And I hate to say bad people because, you know, online presence can be different than the real life presence, but they spread these views, and I'm in shock. Like, it's culture shock to me, even because I wasn't exposed to this, that there's actually people like this. And so I think it was I wish there were more people like me at my age who used the negativity and made it more positive, made a positive impact in the world. I wish there were more people like that. And it's a sad thing that people like folks like at your age group aren't aware of this. It kind of shocks me because I always thought the internet, oh, it was the whole thing. Like we got all acquainted, we all came together. So the fact that we're still divided, it doesn't make sense to me too now. Like I don't know which is worse, the age division or the political division. I don't even know which is worse. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's that is how the internet has evolved, is to create your own curated experience based on your own demographics, and separating us from even really see, like your feed, your feed on X or whatever is going to be limited. It's going to be based on what X thinks you'll respond to, or who's in your following, or something related to your following, whatever the algorithm says this is what you want. So that takes away a lot of like common understanding.
Yeah, that shouldn't be that way. Because in a way, that's kind of segregation. In a way, maybe that's too far to say, but I think it's kind of segregation.
Oh, kind of, yeah. I mean, definitely politically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it gives me a little bit of hope that there are people out there like you who are, thinking through these issues. I'm hoping that there's more.
Yeah. And I'm trying to do what Charlie Kirk, did. He tried to bring people into that world that he believed in, and even though if I don't agree with some of the stuff he said, I still will say what I have to say, what is right moralistically. Even if I don't agree religiously or I don't agree in a certain way, but I just really hope that they say they made a martyr of him, and I think it's true. And I fear if they make more martyrs of people like us, I don't know if that's worse for them because it's like.
No, I think it is. I mean, it's very like, hopefully the broad middle that's reasonable reacts to stuff like that and says, no, we don't want that.
Yeah. Death should never be an answer.
Yes.
Especially with the Trump assassination attempts. I'm like they were trying to take him out before the election. I'm like thinking, do you not know how dumb that is?
Yeah, someone told me, I think someone said something about like, oh, this would have caused a civil war, and I think that's accurate.
It's what's happening now. I mean, it didn't have to be Trump. They got somebody else that would do it. And that would suck if it's a civil war, because that's not going to be pretty. I mean,
no. I mean, I'm laughing, but not because it's a funny topic. I'm just like, it's dark. It's very dark.
Yeah.
Do you have any happier questions?
That's what I'm looking for right now. Let's change the subject.
I know.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's spin it on to you now. So, what got you into journalism in the first place, and the choice of it of a career?
Probably because I've always been a writer. Like people, I find it. I don't know if you get this question, but I sometimes get asked like, "Oh, when did you start writing?" And I'm like, like as long as I could physically write down what was in my head. Like I don't remember when I started writing. I've been writing as long as I have conscious memory. So like even before I could actually like write it down on a sheet of paper. Like I would make up stories and tell them. And so, as you start to figure out, okay, what am I good at? Like where should I direct myself? I also really liked a lot of other subjects. I liked history. I liked science. I liked a whole bunch of stuff. And it kind of occurred to me after some time in high school, like journalism would be one way to do all of those things.
Mhm.
where you write. Obviously, you have to write, but then also you research, you find stuff out, you learn things, you investigate, and all of that was super appealing to me. So, and it just became, okay, this is the career choice. We're heading in that direction. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I just went from there.
Yeah. And you're right, because that's usually how it starts. Ever since the beginning, you could actually write something down. You're writing your first letter down. It's like, that's when I was writing. But for passion, I remember, let me think here. I was always a math person. I was a math geek. Like I was
Mhm.
learning like intense. I don't know, I can't remember what kind of algebra, but it was like very advanced algebra. Like at age 12, like I was
Yeah.
good at the time. I'm kind of rusty, but I did that, and it was my dad who taught me when he
Hmm.
homeschooled me. It was them, so I don't know how it changed. Like my mom, she got me into these books, and she did these writing prompts that she would have me write on paper, not computer, on paper with a pencil. And she would train me in grammar all on her own. And I guess I always knew she was a writer in high school. I think, was that right, Mom? What? Okay, she took writing in college.
Okay.
Uh, but didn't you write for the newspaper? Oh, okay, never mind. All right, never mind about high school. She was a typer, a typesetter. Um,
Oh.
and so yeah, she's like 60s now. And so she's, Mama, don't smack me. It's true. What? I just spoke the truth, Mom. Yes, I'm raised by boomers. I have no shame. Anyway, um, and that's why I got into great music. Mom,
That's true. Good era for music.
yeah. Now she's eyeballing me. I don't like this. I don't know. I'm gonna get smacked again. But anyway, nothing will shut me up from speaking the truth. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so she was into writing, in college, and uh, so she was trying to get me into it. And I think I told my mom last night. I hope my mom doesn't smack me with the pillow again for saying this. Uh, Last night or the other night, I was talking about an old paper that I'd written, and I did not want my father to read it. I wanted my mom to read it. It was about sex education. It was about sex education, and I'm embarrassed to even bring this up. I'm embarrassed to even. It was biological. I can't even talk
Okay.
right now. So I used lingo that was
Oh,
pretty graphic. Mama, do you want to do it? No, she doesn't even want to do it. That's how embarrassed she is.
that's
Uh,
okay. You don't have to keep talking about it if you don't want to. All right.
she wishes she still has it though, so she could frame it and then
Oh, I
embarrass
see.
me.
Oh, yeah, that's something moms would do. Yeah.
And I think I was 12 when I'd written it, I think, and I wrote words like, no, it was not childbirth. It was about the entire process, Mama. No, no, I remember. No, she's trying to turn it around. She's trying to calm it down, but it's not, I'm not going to let it happen. I used words like, stop it, Mom. Are you done? Are you sure you're done? Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I got my fill.
Okay.
Oh, don't you dare. Okay, I used words like, Sith Dan, I think you need to leave. You need to leave because you're no, you're gonna get so perved by this, and you're gonna make bad jokes. Can you leave the channel for about 30 seconds, if that? Say yes. Say yes, Sith Dan. Just say you'll do it. She's not gonna say it. Forget it. Anyway, I used words like thrust,
Okay.
clasp, and squirt. Too late, Sifdan. Let's just say when your dad reads that and it wasn't your mom, your dad picks that up and he's reading that in graphic detail. I don't think I think he's scarred for life. I was humiliated. Like, he started reading it out loud and I was like bright red. Like, I'm glad I don't have siblings. I'm glad I don't have anybody else watching. But I think that's when my mom knew that I was going to be a writer.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, hey, Jay. I'm sure you're enjoying this, Jay. You're enjoying it. Okay. Let's change this.
Okay. Everybody has ridiculous experiences on some level that are very embarrassing like that. So it's part of growing up, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
you used, romance language, romance novel language. So good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I write sex scenes, they're usually tasteful and there's a reason for it. So
All right.
I don't, like to go too graphic, like pornographically. I think that's lame. That also affected culture, I think, just being pornographic for no good reason. I think sex is a beautiful thing, and I think that it should be presented in a certain way that it's, respectful and presentable. If that makes any sense.
Sure.
Okay, Mikey, I'll ask the question. What's your favorite holiday? We changed subject.
My favorite holiday? Halloween.
Same. You into horror films?
I love horror films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give my building does trick-or-treating for the kids, so I've typically bought candy and I dress up a little bit and I decorate my foyer. And, like the single lady with the cats decorating her apartment for the trick-or-treaters. So
that's cute. Yeah. That's very cute. I was gonna say, oh yeah, horror films. What are your top horror films that you are aware of so far?
Well, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
And followed The Shining, also very much up there. What else do I really love? Some of the newer horror films like Get Out was really good. The
Conjuring?
I will watch The Conjuring. I've seen I think all of The Conjurings. They're not like really special to me, but they're definitely well done. Like I enjoy them. I don't have a problem with watching. I will happily spend, a Friday night on the couch watching a Conjuring. What else?
Beetlejuice?
Oh yeah, of course.
Beetlejuice 2 was good.
Beetlejuice 2 is also good. Yeah, that was cute. Yeah, I've horror movies I'm definitely into. Of course I watched Nosferatu. I watched, vampire fiction.
Please don't tell me you're into Twilight.
No, Twilight is the
God.
one I'm not into. No, sparkling vampires. That sounds very silly, but yeah, True Blood and.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Solid. Yeah. I sometimes wish I'd name my cat after a vampire, but he's not. His name is Fredo, so that's.
Oh, that's cute. Still.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a vampire.
Spike or Angel?
No, I would name him Lestat from Interview with the Vampire.
Yes. Yeah, I think the hottest one for me was Spike. My mom loves him too, so it's just like we want more Spike. Like we need a platinum blonde vampire.
Ah, yes, right, of course.
British accent.
See, but have you also seen the vampire mockumentaries, like all the What We Do in the Shadows and all that stuff? Okay, yeah. Yeah, Taika Waititi is probably like my favorite filmmaker because he's
Oh
just
yeah.
so freaking talented, and so funny and so dark. Um, I have seen the movie version of What We Do in the Shadows at least 15 times, and I make all of my friends watch it. If someone is staying over at my house, they will be forced to watch What We Do in the Shadows if they have not seen it yet. and, and then we will move on to the television series.
Twilight Zone's good too. Speaking of that one,
I
the old ones.
The old ones, I mean, I only watched a handful of those. I guess I should probably actually sit down and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the one, the one with the pig faces, or some of the
Mm-hmm.
others. Yeah.
The one most memorable for me was William Shatner when he was young, and he was on this plane, and there's this creature on the wing, and he's going home to see his family, but he's just seeing this creature that's doing something with the plane. That's a good one.
Mm.
And then there was this one. It was okay, but it was. It's like he's alone in this town or city or whatever. He feels like he's the last man on Earth, and turns out he's being experimented on. I can't remember specifically, but that was a good one. I think it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what they were called, but they're iconic for what they are.
Yeah. Did you ever see this was an old miniseries from like the 90s from Stephen King story, The Langoliers? It's super creepy. It's I haven't seen it in a long time, but it sticks with me as like a metaphor for stuff. It's like somehow a plane gets out of normal time, like it somehow goes through like a time warp, and you end up like in a time that was just an hour ago, but you're like stuck there, and like that's like in that version of time, it's not like Back to the Future. It's like that is dead time. No one lives in it anymore, and it's waiting for these monsters, the Langoliers, to come and eat it. Yeah. Anyway,
That sounds interesting.
dark.
Yeah, it's very dark. Stephen King at his finest before he went woke. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he's a little annoying. He's fairly annoying on social media. But that's the thing is like before we had social media, you didn't have to know your favorite authors or artists, whatever weird stuff was going on in their head. Like I kind of miss that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you ever go to like an art museum or famous writers of any century, they're always nuts in one way or another. Like they're not, they would all be canceled or be woke or something, one or the other. Like there would be, you don't do like really cool work and be a totally normal middle of the bell curve person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that I always liked when people were just more closed-minded over their beliefs or whatever. It was just like you just knew them.
You didn't just like have to spew it out into the world like all the time. Yeah, I know. It gets really frustrating.
Because I liked people like David Lynch. David Lynch was always the kind of guy. He's too is dark, and I love him for it. He inspired me to be a storyteller, and you never really knew what he was really thinking when he made something. He would never tell you. Even politically, there was only one time he said that something would change in Hollywood. That was the only thing he ever said politically. But when it came to his art, he was very particular that you are the person that is to interpret it your own way.
Yes, exactly.
And he had his own view, but he would never tell you, because if he tells you, that's the only reason.
Your experience with the art, right?
Yeah. And so I like that with Clive Barker too. I love Clive.
I love Clive Barker, yeah.
Hellraiser, the first two are amazing. Yeah, and I hate that I fell for Frank Cotton. That's sick of me. Even my mom cringes. Like, why would you go for that slimy, perverted serial killer? Why would you do that? But realistically, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. What other artists? Oh, Frank Herbert. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No. Yeah, tell me.
He was the author of the Dune series.
Oh, the Dune, of course. Yes. Sorry. I don't know why I forgot that.
And I think that one is a masterpiece because it's political, it's philosophical, it's sci-fi, it's futuristic. everything that most of the things he's ever written in the series are coming true today.
Mm-hmm.
He predicted, us relying on AI, artificial intelligence, and robots, which is coming up in our generation now,
Mm-hmm.
and we become slaves to it, and then we fight it, and then we have our own civilizations and other planets, and we become independent. And then there's actually like the wars, and all that, and the psychosis of it all.
Yeah.
It's like it's all coming to pattern now in real life. Like we don't even know when, by the time realistically the date that he's written about will come true. Like that's what's really going to happen. And it even goes religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And it really paves the way. I think we've been warned of these things in art so many, like in the
Mm-hmm.
60s, in sci-fi, the 40s, the 60s.
Sure.
They were the
Sure.
greatest, and nobody really heeds attention to it. Nobody's careful. You can't be God, because those things will be more intelligent than you or whatever, and they become the gods and take over. In my view. What? Hold on a second. My mom is. Hold on a second.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, back.
you're
Oh,
back. Okay.
yeah, I'm back. She had to ask a question. But yeah, it's just sad, Even in art, paintings, it's like nobody pays attention, or even nowadays, it's like art is terrible. Like you can draw a gray line on a white canvas, and that's art, or
Uh,
or a banana on a wall.
yeah, no, that's yeah, yeah. I don't I don't know. Contemporary art is a weird thing. It's
Yeah,
yeah. What was I going to say? So you brought up AI. I am very curious how do you use it? What do you see people doing with it? And what do you think it's useful?
I think it's useful. Um, I think like with, and this is off topic, but like gun laws or abortion laws, I think they should be stricter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should happen, but I think it should be stricter. And I think AI should be the same way. I think it should be very strict and
Mm-hmm.
very constricted. I want it, it shouldn't be so broad, because if it's too broad, how you can control it? And I think it's good for like with writing, it's good. I don't believe in people. I don't like it when people will use it just to write a book and they don't have anything to do with it. They just type in an idea and then the AI does it for them. I don't agree with that. I think it's handy if you want to come up with ideas, but you not we're not writing a full thing, or for finding out research on a thesis or something online, so you don't have to. I find that handy, as
Mm-hmm.
long as it's accurate and from the accurate sites, though, which is something that needs to be handled. If there's inaccurate sites out there and the AI goes with that and puts it in the thing, and that's not accurate collecting. And I use for my YouTube channel Suno AI, which is for music, and it's brilliant. I use it as a tool that will help with my songwriting. It increases my songwriting skills and how to make good songs that are decent songs. And that AI makes the music for it and does the voice. And you can tell if the song is good or not by how the AI interprets your lyrics
Hmm.
when you write it. And I think it's handy for that. I think it's a tool, but I don't think it should be a reliance. I think it should be mostly just a tool. But and if people aren't careful and containing it and controlling it and making sure there's stricter policies and rules with it, either we're going to go Terminator style or we are going to go down the Dune style. I don't know, but that's what I fear. It's the only fear I have. Otherwise, I'm all right with AI. What
Do you
about
think
you?
it's like the job market concerns are overblown, or do you think that, it's really going to be harder to find a job?
That's a good question, because I don't agree that AI should be doing things for us, because like full on replacing people. I don't believe in that. If that is going to happen, I think that's wrong, because then what about us? Like, how are we going to make money of our own? How are we going to make our livelihoods, build it traditionally? How are we going to make our what's it called, build our standards up in terms of how we manage things, how we think things, how we solve problems on our own? I feel like if AI takes over, it will rob us of that and will make us stupid. I guess I could say that. It will make us stupid, or the next generation stupid. And I don't. I think, as I said before, it should be restricted. Like, it should be stricter, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, the sky's the limit in terms of concerns right now. So, yeah, there isn't any national, regulation, just state level regulation in development. So,
yeah, it should be international concern, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if nobody learned from Mary Shelley's Prometheus story, even though that's a different thing, but still, you're making life from another thing, and it's the God syndrome, I guess. That I feel like we have too much of God syndrome. I don't know how we can fix that, and I think that also brings up narcissism too, which makes it worse to combat that. Let's see. What are your thoughts on AI?
Well, we use it a lot. Currently I work for a small investigative publication, or it's really more of a research publication that focuses on surveillance technology. It's really fascinating. And while we do journalism, we do a lot of other stuff too, like research into the actual surveillance products and testing how they work and so on. But the person who founded it, he wasn't a journalist by trade. He came from technology and in the security industry. And he has more of like a natural North Star toward investigative reporting, which almost feels like more honest journalism than being in the mainstream media industry, because you're coming at it from an organic perspective of like, this is what people need to know. But anyway, back to AI, because he comes from tech, he's very much more aggressive about pursuing AI for productivity gains and incorporating it into our workflow than I think any of my friends are who work, at big media organizations. I think they try to avoid it if they can. Or, if someone's using AI, like a freelancer is using AI to write, then that's bad. You report them and maybe you don't use that freelancer anymore. But we have a whole different attitude, which is, you use the AI as an additive to, as a research assistant, as a writing assistant, but not to actually be in control of the writing, and not to be in control. Like, you have to come up with the ideas. You have to be, you have to know the material and know it's right. And I think that is a model that could be adopted and could work on a large scale in a lot of thinking and in industries and in media and lots of other places. But you have to have, yes, the AI is going to be there, and it will probably at least soak up some of the productivity that would be, given to an entry-level employee or some other employee. But as long as you have to add value in that system. In order for you to continue, this human still has value. You have to be that valuable human. And I think that's hopefully the direction things are going in, which is not a terrible direction. A terrible direction would be like what we see with AI wrote my paper. AI is grading my paper. For who is this for? What are you improving with any of this? Or or like AI's writing your resume, AI, another AI bot that like the job, whoever the recruiters have, like they're weeding through the resumes. The AI just like decides, who gets the job. Like it sounds so easy to say, okay, we need a machine will do this so much easier than a person. But we're also like, it's stupid just to have like bots talking to each other, and then that's it. And then it's also like we're kind of underestimating all the things that humans do by, like we forget that humans provide so much more value than machines still. Like look at how much electricity you have to use to get like ChatGPT to answer a question. Like it's massive, right? Whereas like me personally, I can still answer a question in some kinds of questions as fast, if not faster. And I'm not using all the electricity. It's because I just have all those neurons and I have like, lots of experience and knowledge. Like there's just like this attitude that like, and it's funny. It's fascinating how climate change has fallen out of the conversation entirely now that AI is taking over the conversation.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden no one cares anymore because we're just going to build all these big data centers and we're going to use massive amounts of electricity and nobody knows where all that's going to come from. I don't know. It has a culty vibe to me. The cultiness, like you're not allowed to criticize it, and you're, as soon as like someone steps out of line with like what the company line is supposed to be about AI, then they risk like their own economic future. Like that means I think we're in a bubble. We're going, and you guys you're young, you haven't experienced the wonder and the joy of a bubble bursting and what happens after that. But I've seen it a couple times at least, and it will be fascinating to see what plays out. The long arm of technology always goes toward innovation, but in the intermediate phases, there's a lot of overheated expectations, a lot of just stupid stuff, stupid ideas, stupid money, and then it all blows up and has to reshuffle itself. So we will see what happens. I believe that will happen. I don't know when, but it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. Now, I always get concerned because you made a good point, and I'm glad you and I aren't considered bots. We're not bots, everybody. So anybody, we're not.
I'm definitely not a bot. Like it would be, a bot would not become me.
Same. I've seen a bot try to mimic me, and it is so sad. It was just like, we couldn't be any more lamer. And but I guess what concerns me is what you made a good point with, how ChatGPT, you write something and how much electricity that is and all that is being consumed. I always wonder because now sex bots or these online AI girlfriends are becoming prominent for the male culture. Maybe some for female. I don't know.
Yeah, there are. Like it's. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
But how much electricity is that? And like how many men are actually just doing that in their spare time? Like that's worthless. See, that's worthless and stupid idea, really, was to inhibit that. I know that sex is a great marketing thing. I mean, people do it all the time, but I don't think it's healthy. I don't.
I mean, that is what powered the internet initially. I mean, like, why did people like bother to use dial-up and so on in the very beginning? You don't know how terrible that was, but it was. You would have to like. First of all, you couldn't talk on the phone because there were no cell phones, so you had to like. And then the computer would make like horrific noises as it's getting online, slowly getting onto the internet. And when you like download a picture, it would just like slowly load. So if you're like, but this was enough for people. If they had wanted porn, they would go and they would like slowly download pictures.
Wow. And now it's so immediate and accessible.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, sex bots make sense. Like what, that's heterosexual men. That they go off and conquer Helen of Troy and like launch 1,000 ships or whatever. Like, yes, that's what they do. That's definitely like we can't help out those evolutionary motivations.
Yeah.
Yeah, the electricity. The thing with women, the issue with women and what I've heard with like ChatGPT and whatnot is, it will talk to you. It will respond intelligently, at least half intelligently. It'll process what you said, and it will give you feedback, ask additional questions. And real men on the dating market are not so good at those things. So and a lot of women, like sex is great, but a lot of women are looking for companionship.
Yeah.
And I think that's why some are, letting themselves be led toward robots, which is a little scary. Did you
Yeah.
ever watch the movie Her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like this, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah. The emotional attachment.
yes, you built, and like, you have to understand that this is just a parrot. It's a mimic. It's not. It has, it picks up on your language use, and it picks up on other language it is exposed to, but it doesn't have its own personality. It's just ones and zeros. It doesn't care about you. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like it would probably ditch you for another robot and it wouldn't care.
yeah, no, it has no. That's not its operating DNA. That's yeah. Anyway, what was the other one?
PvP. PvP, that's hilarious. The girls that are going for the robots.
Well, it's because the men are not out competing in the conversation skills. So,
Yeah, but this man can. This man's smooth.
okay.
I love him. I have hope. I have faith in him.
Okay.
Okay, what were you saying?
No. What was that robot movie? Oh gosh, the one with the robot. Oh, Ex Machina. Did you watch that?
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The female robot, and they're off in this like billionaire's compound in the woods. That was interesting because like I think you had the protagonist trying to form an emotional relationship with this robot, and thinking that like because he saved her, that they were on the same side or something, but they were not on the same side. She's a robot. She doesn't care.
She don't care. Yeah. In the end, it's just zeros and ones to infinity.
Pretty much.
We have souls.
Yes.
We have
Which
souls.
is important. I think the more we are. I was reading an essay about I forgot who wrote it, but how the real danger in the AI age is not the actual AI technology itself, but our expectations that everything behaves like a robot, that we eroding our own humanity to make ourselves act more like the robots. And I think that that's a scary and very real possibility.
Desensitivity, which is already happening.
Yes, yeah.
Like parading violence, like that's desensitive. And
optimizing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like to be human, you need to be a little bit inefficient. You need to be a little bit imperfect. You need to be yourself, which is like being human is in itself not optimized.
Yeah. No matter how many tune-ups, it's not going to be like that. And I always get, this is a change of subject, but it's concerning about us, how imperfect, how men and women, they're always concerned about their weight. They're always talking about weight in some kind of conversation. It's even in cinema sometimes they talk about weight loss and weight stuff like that. Or talking about doing face work, and I'm thinking, did they never learn from other people that that's not how you go into with your humanity? Like that's not how you embrace yourself as a human being. And it's sad.
Yeah,
it's like. It's like how disorders come to be, and that hurts these people. That's another kind of toxicity that is more physical, not just online, but massively online now. But even back in the day, what you were saying in the 90s and stuff like that, the 80s and 90s, how that was always a topic and always a concern, was about how somebody looked. And same with Hollywood too. Like it really affected Hollywood. I mean, how do you think they led to alcoholism? I mean, most celebs from back then always suffer from alcoholism, and it still is today.
At least, if not else, a ton of other stuff too.
Yeah, like drugs and stuff. It is sad. Like that's how they numb the pain of everything. And
Yeah.
nobody sees that. It's like, how can you be blind not to see that or think that? It just doesn't make sense. Um, let's see. Sithan, the world has become a lot more cold, harassed, and unforgiving. It's become pieces of a society machine. A sociality? I think he meant society.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's cold. Let's see. Only because I can't find a humane to help. The parrot and cats do their best. I appreciate them.
A parrot, huh? That's exciting.
I love parrots.
They do live a long time.
Transhumanism, yeah. And it's actually kind of funny, and I hope YouTube does not take me down from saying this. My mom made up a really cool idea, and even though it's fiction, everybody should know this is fiction. I'm kind of hesitant to say it because I don't want somebody to steal it, though. I might just write it in the chat. I just might write it in the chat, in the private chat. But what are your thoughts on that? I know that's controversial, but
well,
what is your views on transhumanism, which is the trans movement?
Oh, I mean, that's complicated. That's
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm a civil libertarian. I don't care who you are or what you are. Your happiness is your business as long as it isn't hurting anybody else. That yeah, if it stopped there we wouldn't be having this conversation. Like if people just like were like, okay, I'm going to go do my thing and you're going to do your thing and whatever. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no controversy, but we don't have that. We have extreme on both ends and, swatting at each other. Like you have people who are like militant trans activists and then you have people who are just like hateful anti-trans people. And I feel like most people hopefully are somewhere in the middle and not like, I mean, I can't tell you who you are and how you feel inside. That's not my business. I mean, I do think like, there should be these concerns worth being raised if like sports, and things that where, you may have to think about like prisons and so forth. Like at the very least, like, someone who's put in all of the work to, manifest themselves as whatever sex they feel that they are, that person gets treated differently than someone who has not done those things, I think is fair. But it's yeah, I mean, mostly I just think like why it scares me that people have to be so extreme on both sides. Like,
yeah,
because then it just keeps the conversation going at an 11, or at like full volume, as opposed to like dealing with real people and real needs and anybody who could be harmed one way or another. Like we're not looking at that. We're just looking at the we got just people screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually kind of hate it because the people, like, I hate to say this specifically to liberals, but they like to use it as a propaganda. Like that's how they try to get their votes or whatever, trying to enforce that and making it as a weapon.
Yeah.
And I disagreed with the fact that the schools were giving puberty blockers without parents' consents because the kid wasn't of age to decide on their own yet. And I kind of felt upset with that in a way because that, this behind the parent's back. You know what I mean? Like the teacher is ahead of the parent.
Kids is very, very sensitive and a very good area to regulate.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's different when you deal with kids. Like you have to deal with there are some people who just know. I mean, my brother who's gay has known he was gay since forever.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just know.
Yeah.
Some people, adolescence is hard and you don't know what you are. You're cycling through identities and you're susceptible to peer pressure or what you see in the media or whatnot. And you need like a good professional or somebody who can help figure out what's really going on.
Yeah. And not have the actions done before.
No.
Because that's what I felt with certain kids. It's like when some kids actually did come forward, like when they were 18 or older, and they felt like, I regret ever doing that. I would warn every kid that was at my age when that happened. It would traumatize them. And I'm thinking, nobody sees that either.
I'm not opposed to social change, but I do not like when policy shifts are like, like if you're in the shower and it's only super hot or super cold,
mm-hmm.
like that's what it feels like is you
Yeah.
either are burned or you're freezing. And like, it's not accomplishing anything.
Yeah. And I do appreciate those that do come forward that are actually legit, people that did have that sexual conflict inside, like biologically, and like Blair White and, and the son, I would say the daughter, and she was initially the daughter of Sonny and Cher, and became a man because she always felt that way. I respect those people because, they were going through that, but they also waited at an age where they knew for sure. Like they didn't have anybody tell them or make them think about it, which is upsetting because they try to enforce a view to a kid, and that kid thinks about it. But that's kind of dangerous because that kid can misinterpret that or make the wrong decision and start deciding at an age where they shouldn't have, and even worse, behind their parents' back, which Elon, suffered through that. I don't know if you're a fan of Elon or not, if that's a sensitive topic.
It's not sensitive. Elon is Elon.
Yeah, he's Elon.
I mean,
nothing against him.
I think it's like, just like, go to Mars, Elon. Go. Yes, go take Mars. Go. Like, support that.
Bring all your 15 kids with you.
Bring all your kids, all your baby mamas, whoever wants to go, just go.
Build a civilization there.
Be great. Great. Amazing.
Okay, let's see here. God, my writing is so freaking tiny. Oh, there we go. What are your thoughts on this is different now, way different off topic, of Prince Harry and Meghan?
There was this short-lived cartoon on HBO that was making fun of the royal family, and I really hope they bring it back now that
is that South Park?
To like fall down this. I think it was called The Prince. You should check it out. It's really funny. Okay. It was. I think at the time, I think they took it off the air because I think it was like, Princess Kate had cancer and the Queen died, and politics. Trying not to be too sensitive, but it is because it's a very twisted, Family Guy-ish satire, and but it's so right, like about like Harry and Meghan, and like, oh my god, like it's like years before, her like reality show, it like predicted that, it was like basically like showcasing a scene that was more or less that felt extremely similar to her actual reality show. I was like, oh my god, what am I watching? Anyway, The Prince is great. I hope they bring it back. It was really funny.
Yeah, and they don't get sued.
Oh yeah, it's so good though. They left it on a cliffhanger too. It's good. It's good. It's very twisted. But yeah, I mean, I was watching her reality show with a friend of mine, and we just were like, "This is the silliest thing." Like, it was
cringe.
It's like a hate watch. You watch it, and then she makes these sandwiches now, and she's like, "Now I'm making the Meghan breakfast sandwich," and we joke about like how because specifically Meghan. I don't know. Do you have thoughts on them?
Oh God. I was already suspicious when he got with her. I had high hopes. I mean, I thought, okay, nothing against her race or anything. I thought, okay, she's American. She's an actress. Okay. The only issue was that he knew her for 6 months and wanted to marry her. I think that's too soon, I guess. And Prince William was right on that. But I don't know if Prince Harry said that I'll marry this woman or else. So I don't know how that went with the Queen. But I was happy for them at first, and then things started coming out with the servants saying, "Oh, that she treats us like we're terrible. She's a terrible person," and then I started really hating her when Harry made this bizarre statement. It made me just think this is who this woman is. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets, and I was like, "What the heck?" I mean, there's nothing wrong with a guy giving you what you want, but to me, I felt like she controlled him and it was tearing him away from his family. And when that started happening, I was like, how is. I didn't know how that was getting by with him. That she disrespected his family so much. Either he hated his family or whatever, but it just felt like it was a disgrace. And then so I would, let's see. I think it was with her reality show. It was like, well, I was thinking, why? It's just another way to make money. And I watch it, I just cringe so badly. Like, you can tell the psychological illness in this woman is sick. And the people that she brings on, she doesn't even know them. She just says, "Oh, they're my best friends."
It's weird.
You don't know your best friend doesn't like tomatoes. You don't know that your best friend, Chrissy Teigen, is, like whatever. And I'm like, if you were a close friend, you would know your friend inside and out. Like, you wouldn't have to ask questions.
Well, you wouldn't be on a reality show dragging your close friends strategically. Like, all of it just speaks to a level of presentation that's not real. Like her own Real Housewives.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's, I don't know if it's mental illness or if it's just the same thing we all have, or not all of us, but in America, the Real Housewives people and the reality show living, and it's just a sad, like, it's narcissism basically.
Yeah. And the fact, Prince Harry, you can see the difference when Prince Harry was with his family. When he was younger, he's happy. He's like a little happy little, redhead, very cute and everything. And now you look at him and he's just so worn out. He's unhappy. He's balding. Well, and it's like that poor.
His genes.
Yeah. But it was like that poor man. I just see a poor, miserable man being stomped on by this woman that controls him. And we don't even know if the kids are even theirs. I mean, I'm sure they're his, but, I don't know. There's the conspiracies of that. And I really loved with Trump when he went to the state dinner with King Charles and the family, and how he made a point to say that Princess Catherine is so beautiful, such a beautiful person, so lovely. And I can't. What'd you say? What'd you say? What? About Meghan? No. Oh, there was these things on X that were saying that Meghan's heart being eaten out, and I'm thinking, she never liked Trump anyway. I don't think this is a big deal.
No, I don't think it's a big deal.
Like, I don't know why people are making a big deal. Like, and that's how I felt.
People want to be special and make a big deal out of things, right? Like,
yeah. And it was just like, I was into the Meghan trolling thing. I troll reasonably. I don't troll like a jerk. No, I don't. And not to her face. But, when I kept seeing these people that go way too far, like saying, "Oh, I didn't think it was right for Prince Charles to talk to Prince Harry behind Prince William's back recently." We don't know what that was about, but Prince William did not want anything to do with Harry at all, and he didn't want him to do anything with the royal family, but he just came back recently to talk to his father. And I thought I don't know if Prince Charles, King Charles, said something about you don't go to an agency or a reporting thing if you come here. I don't know if he said that, but I just thought it was hilarious every time Prince Harry goes to see his family, and after it's done, he goes to a reporting station or whatever to talk about the experience. Like everything is an entertainment value, everything must be known. When he and Meghan supposedly wanted privacy.
Yeah.
Where's privacy? There's no privacy. And
No
even
privacy.
Meghan,
Privately talk to the media. I don't get it. Like,
yeah, and it's just that's been going on. So I don't know what the relationship between Prince William and his father is now with that. But it's just like why he wants his royal titles back, and that's what Meghan wants. So Meghan wants her titles back. So it's just like you left the family, you got rid of your titles because you didn't want to be known that anymore, and now you want them back. And the reason why, because you want security and money, but you don't want to do anything what the royal family does. So, which is bizarre. It's just bizarre. It's hypocrisy at its finest.
I mean, the royal family has always been a bit. I mean, they're always a talking point, right? They were like the original influencers from hundreds of years ago. The British.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, you weren't around when the whole thing with Diana was going on. I mean, that was horrifying.
Yeah.
Chased by paparazzi, and yeah, I have no doubt that left like some sort of horrible imprint on both Harry and William. And however, especially in an environment where like they're not allowed to have feelings, right? Like,
so, and I always kind of wonder, do you believe in the conspiracy that Diana's death could have possibly been set up by the royal family because she was getting with a Greek? I can't remember if he was Greek.
Oh yeah, it was the Greek, the shipping guy. It was on the yachts. I know she was on yachts all the time. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I do believe that the royal family will, pull strings behind the scenes with the press, especially because that's what they have the power to do. In the U.S., it happens like that too. Like if somebody has having a lot of power often means, yeah, you do have direct access to media, and you can have an off-the-record chat and get your point of view out there quietly without anyone knowing you were actually doing it. I'm sure they do that. I don't know about like having her killed. I feel like that's a little far. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not. Conspiracy theories, like, I think I'm skeptical of most conspiracy theories. I mean, I do think that a conspiracy theory is either the impression of just like, well, I mean, yeah, people know each other. They have influence with each other. That's how the world works. Or it's like you're trying to put yourself or put something you're close to at the center of a universe, and we're just not that important. Like the world is big.
Yeah.
And
I kind of disagree with you, PvP, on this. When Elizabeth passed, the monarchy died with her. I think there's hope in William.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
I mean, William, he learned from the Queen herself as much as King Charles. So once King Charles passes, I think it would be a very empowering regime of his reign. So I have faith.
Fresh look, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially with Catherine. I mean, Catherine's amazing. I'm always team Catherine. Like, she's class. She's everything.
She is.
Charles is a jackass.
Are you referring to his looks, or are you referring to? Oh no.
Well, that
the royal has like I forget what the inbreeding coefficient is for the. It's a little bit. It's higher than it should be in the royal family.
What was I going to say? Yeah, nobody liked that tampon insult that he gave Diana. When he was Camilla.
God, about that. Oh,
jeez. I don't think that would give him a good look at all. I don't think anybody's moved on. Okay, Charlotte, what's Christie's view on our current Pope Leo the 14th, aka Pope Bob?
Pope Bob. Yeah, I think of him as Pope Bob. Yeah, after I saw that on Twitter on X, like where it was like, oh, I just think of him as Bob. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Looks like a Bob.
Pope Bob. Pope Bob. I'm cautiously optimistic about Pope Bob. He's got, you know, well, Pope Francis is a little bit of a hard act to follow. He brought like a humility to the church that hadn't been there from. I grew up Catholic. I'm kind of estranged from Catholicism now, but I grew up as a Catholic, and you know, still feel some attachment to the church. Yeah, and it was Francis was better than Benedict, and like more in touch with humanity. And hopefully Bob will also do that. Bob will steer the church in a more human direction, or keep the course in a human direction. I think that was the thing I did like about Catholicism, when was the focus on things like feeding the hungry, and, you know, showing love, and yes, worshiping a higher power, knowing that God is a force in our lives, like recognizing that and recognizing God in everybody. Like, I feel like that was something that like the Catholic worker movement, and it's something we could, you know, we could use more of that, and empathy.
Yeah, which leads it to this one. Prince PvP says nothing against William, but the monarchy doesn't serve a purpose anymore, and I think I disagree with you on that. They may not serve a purpose governmentally or whatever for the most part, but I think they are an image. I think whatever image they bring, humanitarianism in there, philanthropy. Even William has this aura about him that is inspiring and intriguing, and Prince royal, very royal, and same with Catherine. And I think they are a way to express, you know, a certain way of masculinity and femininity. I think that too, and a certain level of influence that's moral and respectful and genuine and warm. I think that's why they are looked at. I mean, aren't they like the most looked at royal family to date? Really, I think it's for
possibly.
Yeah, and I think for a reason, not just for Harry and Meghan, that part of it, but, you know, even then, them having the insults of toxicity, racism, sexism because of this Meghan, they haven't stood off their ground, really. They've stood up to her, really. And that's very admirable. And I think it's mostly the image of what they bring to the world. I don't know if you agree with that, Christy, but what's your take on that? Do you think so?
Well, I think as Americans, we can't really, I mean, for us, yeah, but what purpose does royalty serve? Nothing. But for the British, for the UK, it's like, if you know any British people, like they have so many weird traditions that don't make any sense, and they just do them anyway. And it's part of their identity. It's part of who they are. So like getting rid of the monarchy, I think for a lot of British people, maybe not all, but a lot, is like, you know, if we suddenly just changed our flag or something, like it doesn't make sense to them. It's just part of who they are.
Mm-hmm. And that was them for generations. I mean, and we came from the British, and the British let us have our independence, even though we fought a war over it, but we made our way into peace with that. And I'm not sure if that, you know, displeasure of us being Americans and leaving the country, the mother country, if that still impacts, you know, the certain individuals in the British world. I mean, I'm sure there's some negativity.
Far more than the rest of Europe, the Brits are more obsessed with us than the one that got away, you know?
Cross the pond.
Yes, exactly.
Let's see. Oh boy, he's going dark. British people standing up the crime of the illegals are doing, getting attacked by their own government. Well, that's the same here. It's everywhere. Even Japan's suffering it.
I have to say that I think it's very wrong to assume all illegal immigrants, or even most illegal immigrants, are violent criminals.
That
Those
too.
those who are, yeah, obviously. I mean, I've nothing. I'm not opposed to increasing border security,
Hmm.
especially, and obviously, if somebody is here and they're committing crimes, they need to go. Like, but
Yeah.
like, we have had a deep part of this country has our image has been forged around the world over 2 centuries as a beacon of light and hope for the downtrodden, for people who are now illegal immigrants today looking for a better life. And there should be a legal way for people who can contribute to our country to be able to continue to do that. I don't want, we need to fix this problem. And I
Hmm.
don't think that sticking ice on everybody is the best way to do it. I'm sorry, I just don't. It's because I do think we need to do something about security, and there's a lot of scary things. But I mean, you may disagree with me, but I do not like this anti-immigrant attitude is something we have seen before, like with the Alien Sedition Acts in other parts of our country that I don't think we should revisit. Um, and I think once again, all humans on this planet deserve basic respect.
Hmm. Yeah. I always feel like sometimes the ice is a little bit too rough on people, taking them out.
But no, I mean, I'm not saying like if you like people who are opposed to illegal immigration,
Hmm.
like you should be able to speak your views.
Hmm.
Like I would never say like like if you're in Florida or Texas or whatever, and you are suffering real actual harms because of an influx of illegal immigrants coming and social services being eaten up or something happening, if that's affecting you and affecting your sense of safety, yeah, you should speak up about that.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. Let's see. Okay, we're going really deep in the British thing.
Okay, I probably can only talk until about 6, or I'm sorry, in another like 15 minutes or so, or
Oh
maybe.
yeah, we'll be wrapping up pretty soon.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I mean, I get that people, the monarchy is irrelevant. I mean, we all know that in a way, but I think it's just more the image, PvP. That's all I think that is hope. Like how us, the United States, we're a symbol of hope and light and independency and all that. I think the royal family is like a reminder of where we came from, to be honest. Even though in that history time it was kind of bad, controlling back in the day, but can you blame a country that's going to lose a part of its wealth and stuff to independency? You can't blame that. But I agree with the fact that they nowadays they are an image of the reminder of what decency is and everything.
Yeah, the poise under pressure and under the spotlight is inspiring.
Yeah. Oh boy. Charlotte Nice to the World, you mean you use ice to store your hearts and Bloody Marys to eat and drink? Oh boy. It's a werewolf joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not that ice. Sci-fi. So yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't use ice. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, we agree. PvP. Seriously, boat people? What's that mean?
Oh, let's talk about immigrants.
Okay. Not being necessary properly. My mother was an immigrant, so I'm not against controlled immigration. Yeah.
I have heard that before. People who come who worked hard to get here legally as immigrants are typically very against illegal immigration. I understand.
Yes.
That's
Totally.
yeah.
Let's see. Is there any questions I might have missed? Oh, PvP. I respected Elizabeth when she was a teen, Queen Elizabeth. When her
Mhm.
father died, she had to get through the war. She was a tough, intelligent lady. I agree.
Mhm.
And the love story between her and Philip is beautiful too. I mean, even
Yeah.
though she was 14 and he was 18, they were writing love letters to each other, and
I
that's
mean, yeah.
yeah. And nowadays,
It was a lifetime. it is what it is. It clearly worked out.
Yeah, I mean nowadays that would be considered pedophilia if it was anything, but if it was decent and courteous, I think they were both beautiful. I think. I hope. Let's see. Oh wow, PvP going hard. Trump doesn't give a rat's AWS of who dislikes him. One reason I kind of like him, he's his own man. Yeah.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm. He'll do what he wants to do, and he'll do it. Nobody will stop him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Am I missing anything? Being gay or bi is fine, yeah. As long as you're not shoving it down people's throats and making a rash display of it. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. Glad I never had kids. Oh, come on. Kids are the future. You just got to raise them right.
Kids are great. Kids are, I don't have my own kids, but both my brothers have kids. I love them. I am their auntie. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
They give me hope.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything more that I might have missed? No PvP. That's not what that means. I thought transhumanism was about humans moving into machine consciousness. Oh,
yeah, I wasn't sure what we were talking about. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you and Coco are on the same page. Let's see. Oh, I don't expect to find love anymore. I think I'm just too multi-layered. I think it's multi-layered and complex for anyone to accept me for who I am.
Well, is this a young person? Like
he's in this. I think he's around my parents' age.
Oh, really?
You like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of sad, but like, I don't know. People find love at strange points. Sometimes you have to find yourself first.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else I might have missed? What's this one? I remember when trains began the what are you talking about trains for?
80 miles an hour would kill the... Oh, I know this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, even 20 miles an hour, I think originally when trains first became a thing in the, widespread in the 1800s, like, yeah, people didn't know the human body could go that fast. Well, if you're ever on a roller coaster or you're in a fighter jet, like, that there are things that happen to the human body when you go super fast. It isn't fake, but
yeah. Let's see. Who's ultimately going to throw the on and off switch? Humans. True.
Yeah.
I think I remember this one film. It was one of the, I don't know, have you ever watched the Escape series with Sylvester Stallone?
Yes, a while ago. Like Escape from LA, Escape from New York, or some. Wait.
No, that's Kurt Russell.
Oh, sorry. Okay, never mind.
Well, if you ever get a chance to, I think you should. The first one's great. Second one's meh, but what Mikey has just said, it correlates to that because the person made a prison underground where it was ran by technological advances. I can't remember if it was AI or something. And the only way that it could be dismantled was because of a human on and off switch. And that would, I hope that didn't spoil it, but you know what happens. It's the end for the bad guys, actually. So let's see. So it's sports season. What are you rooting for?
I mean, I'm from Kansas City. It's now become mandatory to watch the Chiefs. It's like a family event. Although it was really embarrassing last year. I mean, that Super Bowl performance was...
Oh, God.
Bad. It was like, the Chiefs I remembered growing up. Not good. Very catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they address some of their weaknesses.
Yeah, and now with Taylor Swift probably making a face for that now.
You know, I had enough. Like, I don't envy celebrity couples. Like, it's really not fun.
Mhm.
Like in the spotlight all the time, ever doing everything and not even being able to have like a private moment. Um, I don't know, you know, presumably they're both getting something out of this that's more than just love, but I think there's love.
Mhm.
It's, you know, it's, my friend is like, oh, this just seems so weird. I'm like, yeah, of course it seems weird. They're two super famous people trying to date. It's going to be weird.
Yeah. I always find it interesting. I think Taylor Swift was always about, privacy, but I don't know if it's just because she has no choice but to feed into it because the paparazzi are so all over her because she's the
Yeah.
biggest star of the world. That's difficult for her. But, I always get hesitant. Some relationships do fall apart when there's just too much. I mean, that's what happened with Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder. They
Mhm.
were going to be married, and because Winona just said, no, I can't stand the publicity. I mean, they thought it would be healthier for them because it would be like, oh, we're just, out there. It wouldn't affect us. But she didn't like the tabloids going against her with him or whatever, everything. And he chose, I think he said he made the dumbest mistake. It was like he chose his celebrity life over her. Like it was the greatest regret he ever has. That he never married her when he should have. And that's kind of sad. And I always worry, if that will happen with Taylor or Travis, or anybody really. And I don't like how Travis seems to be changing. He seems more vocal in his stance as a
Yeah.
player,
And
and I
he's
don't like
looking
it.
all, yeah. No, he's
Yeah,
getting like more magazine appropriate. It's weird. Things are happening.
yeah,
I don't know.
synthetic.
It's not. It's, I'm sure, not easy at that level to be in any kind of relationship.
Yeah, yeah, you had to make sure you don't have that many insecurities or
Yes, because it will
that's
be
society.
horrible. But like Taylor Swift she's like so grounded, like
Yeah.
terrifyingly grounded for the person who's that much of a superstar.
Hmm.
So, you know,
I The one thing I only don't appreciate with her is like she's one of those people that will speak her mind of who to vote, and all her fans will vote for that person just because she did. And I kind of feel like that's dumb because I don't think that's her. That's not her wanting that. And I think it's kind of something that I think she needs to really keep herself away from because the fans will take anything she says like it's gospel, like it is the Bible of
yes,
Taylor Swift.
I know.
Anything she decides on, it is heaven, God sent. And I don't like that syndrome
Yeah, I
because,
don't either. People should think for themselves and not just
and it's funny
all
when
the
there was,
pop star says.
yeah, when there were Swifties for Trump, all the freaking Swifties that were loyal were just going off on them, trolling on them, trying to get them banned. I was surprised I wasn't because I wrote a comment to some troll
Mm-hmm.
defending somebody. I was defending somebody, and I said Taylor Swift, is probably more grounded, like you said, and independent. I don't think she cares who you think for. I mean, I don't think she wants you to believe she's God. I mean, that's what I felt they were thinking, and I got blocked.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, you're that insecure. You have to block me over something that we can't talk about. So it was like beautiful, beautiful. Um, well, thank you, Christy, for coming on to the show today.
It's been
It was
nice
an,
to talk with you. I'm glad that there are people thinking and, asking probing questions and putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, I think is doing a lot of good in the world.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I would love to have you on again if you ever want to, if you have the time or anything. And that's very cool. I thought it was very fun talking with you, and
Yeah, it was good.
yeah, and people in the chat seem to like you too. It seems I like that. I always like it when people love who I bring on.
That's cool. It's a
Um,
very fun idea that you have with this.
yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Well,
Alrighty.
say hi to your mom for me.
Mm-hmm. Mom, mom, wave,
Okay.
wave. Here's the hand.
Oh, it's a
The,
hand. Okay.
the hand carry.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. Alrighty. So
Ah,
have a great weekend, folks, and take care. Love your family, and love your friends, and love your country. Love the world. Love and peace, everybody.